What's up, everybody?
Hello. We do not own the rights to this music.
Hey. Sing it, please. Hey, listen. It's wonderful. I'm gonna turn it up. That's my favorite part here. It's what I feel when I'm with you. Hey. All right, listen. Welcome to Coffee Conversations. Well, we got coffee and we got conversations. Welcome. Listen, we want you to do me a favor. We want you to share this broadcast. If you would be so kind to share this broadcast on your social media, start some watch parties. We're going to talk about making it last forever. Keeping the fire in the family. Keeping the fire in your marriage, in your relationship. Keeping it spunky, keeping it hot. We want you to share this. Listen, do me a favor, share really quickly. As we are start watch parties, we're going to blow up the internet with what we got going on. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Listen, this is for grown folks. I want you to do me a favor. All of our coffee and conversations have been family centered. This is for grown folk. Our children not in the room. They're not even on this floor. We sent them away. We put them away privately. This is some grown folk conversation. And because we have a grown people conversation, we want to make sure that in this grown people conversation, we're going to have some real talk. All right? So listen, y'all, let's get ready. Let's make it happen. Everything we do, we give God praise in everything that we do. So we're going to pray real quick. Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for this moment. We thank you for everything you continue to do in our lives. Now, God, bless it. Bless our thoughts and our patterns and our deeds. That you may get the glory even out of it. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, listen. Tonight we're talking about making it last forever, keeping the fire, the passion, the romance in your marriage, in your relationship. And so we got some great things we want to just share with you all on tonight. Let's just right now, we ain't no experts. We just two black people who will tell you about how to keep some fire going in your marriage.
Right.
And so, it's going to be that kind of conversation tonight. It's going to be that kind of conversation. I saw, wait a minute. Stephanie Williams has jumped in. So I'm so grateful to see my girlfriend on here. She has hopped on talking about this. So listen, let's get right into it. So my wife is going to disagree with me. I just got coffee. My wife is going to totally disagree with me, but I'm going to say I broke the internet a couple of weeks ago with the romantic thing I did with my wife. Had the chef come to the house, had the rose petals laid from the front door to the upstairs. Which y'all don't know is she was blindfolded. She didn't see anything. She didn't know what was going on, and we were quarantined in the house, but had ideas about our relationship because we needed some time together. We separated the kids, dropped all four of them off. Some of them were over here, one was over there. Everybody got to a different place, and we had that time together. And so I was getting conversations. People were asking me, first question somebody asked me was, were you in trouble? I was like, no. Did you do something wrong? Like, no. Why?
There was no trouble.
There was no drama. But I did it because my investment in my marriage. So anybody who knows me knows that I'm a very romantic guy. Anybody who knows me knows I believe in romance. I believe in that time of intimacy with my wife. And I wanted to make sure that she still remembered that she's still the finest thing on the planet to me. So that being said, we're gonna start some conversation about relationships and romance. And so if you have questions, definitely put them in the comment section as we go and dig into it. So one of the things that when I thought about this is don't forget about your mate. We spend a lot of time, Kenisa and I know all of you all spend a lot of time going after your careers, raising your children, building families, building success. And a lot of times while we're building success, we forget about the partnership and the kindredship that we have with the person who we're in relationship with. It is really easy to forget the gift that is beside you.
It is.
Ain't nobody say amen right there. I ain't see no hearts, no nothing. It's really easy to forget about that gift that you have beside you. And a lot of times we can get so distracted, we can get so driven by other things that we miss the best part of life. And the best part of life is not things. It ain't what car you drive, it's not where you live. It's the relationship that God has ordained for you to have, and that mate that He's giving you to walk with. Mm-hmm. And so that's a lot of times that's the thing we put on the back burner. And that's the thing that we don't acknowledge and don't spend time with. And so one of the things that I want to help you is don't forget about your mate. My producer telling me to move on. Don't forget about your mate in the process. And because have anybody ever experienced it before that you forgot about the person that you're with? So we make date night a regular part of our life. Our tribe is on here, and our tribe knows that Kenisa and I make date night a part of our life. My mother is here. My mother-in-law is here. My sister is here. And they know that our date nights are important because it helps for a healthy relationship.
Yes. It's easy to get caught up in work and the operations portion of marriage. Just getting caught up in paying the bills, making sure you're going to work, making sure the kids get picked up, making sure everyone eats, making sure that the house is run, like making sure that everything is kind of a smooth operating machine. But sometimes what's neglected is that personal intimacy when you take time out to, and when I say intimacy, I don't just mean the physical intimacy. I mean mental intimacy, emotional intimacy. Mm-hmm. And so it's easy to kind of get swept away with all of the reality of everything else that you're doing and neglect that part. So that's what we don't want to do.
Not only neglect that part, but neglect each other in that. It's easy. It's so easy to neglect each other because sometimes we take advantage that we always will be there. You'll always have that person, but you forget about that person's feeling and value. Samantha said, what are some suggestions to keep each other engaged besides date night? I feel like spontaneity is important. So everything should always, when you have families, you schedule a lot, you plan a lot of things, but it should have some kind of spontaneity. Everything shouldn't be by schedule. Morning sex is always good to keep it engaged.
Okay. Well, praise God.
Wake up and get it. Or the spontaneity of somebody else putting forth the effort to plan is always good. Hey, I told y'all put your kids away. I told y'all this is a grown people conversation. I said that in the very beginning. So that's one way. But then actually showing your appreciation, it should not have to be planned to show your appreciation. So gifts for no reason. Whatever your partner's love language is, that's what you really should be focusing on making happen. You should be really focusing on working through. Because my wife and I love language are two totally different love languages.
Totally different.
We're different on that. But I think we've taken on the posture of trying to make each other the priority. And in making each other the priority and in our love language, makes it work for us. Kelly said, I'm assuming that's dates, weekly or monthly, as much as you can do. So Kenisa and I try to do our date every weekend. We attempt to do a date. It doesn't always work.
It doesn't always work out.
It don't always work, but we attempt to do a date every weekend.
I would definitely say if you can't make it weekly, then do bi-weekly.
Yeah, but you have to do it. It is a release. Let me tell you something. It's a release when you can spend time with the person who you're connected to, because what happens is you are continuing to learn each other. What Kenisa and I did 5-6 years ago is not the same thing we're doing now. And so because we're continuing to learn each other, because we're continuing to grow and develop, you've got to spend time talking to the person you are growing and developing with. And if that's not a part of your conversation, that's not a part of your behavior, then what tends to happen is you'll go long stretches of time, and then you're like, who am I sleeping next to? Who is this person? I need some hearts right there. Somebody should be saying hearts right there. That I don't want to be with somebody who forgets who I am and don't know what I like and what I don't like.
So I want to go back to Samantha's question. How do you keep, what was the question? What are some suggestions to keep each other engaged besides date night? I think it's very important throughout the week and throughout life to be mindful of your cues, like your social cues. If Jamie's having a bad day, not to add to that, or to pray for him, to genuinely care and support your spouse. I think that's like on a scale of intimacy, like for me in my love language, that's more intimate than physical. To know that you can see into me and you can know where I need your support and you can reach into that place and help me there. That's powerful.
I totally agree with it. Knowing science. And here's truth to that. We don't always get it right. Like sometimes we miss the signs. We miss that. Oh no, that's not what you meant. Oh yeah, that's that one. But it's the dedication to continue to work at it, the dedication to continue to stand in. The other part is we are not married to our children.
Nope.
I'm going to lose some people. Some people are going to get mad. And I'm going to answer this question next. But we are not married to our children. We love our children. I love all of our kids. All of them special. All of them mean a lot to us. All of them have our hearts. But I'm in love with Kenise. And so they see the love affair between my wife and I. And I pray that the model we're setting for them has them desire that same thing, like my sister and I saw in our parents, that made us desire that same thing. To say, okay, when I get married, this is what I want my marriage to be like. But they're going to get up, they're going to get grown, they're going to move out and have their own families. And it's going to be Kenise and I. And we want to make sure that our love affair stays intact. That although our children are good, they're secure, we're still not going to allow them to be the focus of our marriage. So Gail said,
Gail. Hey, Gail. Do you ask your partner what their love language is, or do you seek to find the treasure?
Good.
So you can ask. I think it's twofold. You can ask, yes, but sometimes your partner may not know what their love language is. They may not quite understand the 5 love languages and what they are and what they mean. They may just know that they like getting gifts, or they may just know that they like
gifts,
being affirmed, or they may just know. They might just know that they like to be touched on. You know, like being touched on. So,
rub me.
So you can ask, yes, but it's also important to find out for yourself. Do sweet things, do nice things, and say, oh, okay, he liked this, or that worked, or that didn't work. Kelly said, I'm all the languages.
Right, but you know, and that could be, and Kelly, and you said something that's really important. Because I may want different things in different times. So, all right, let me tell y'all something. Well, Keisha and I, before we got married and we were dating, I used to sing her on YouTube songs every day, a different love song every day. I would send her a different love song every day, and she would send me hearts back. She would send me stuff back, and then she would send me songs. And I can't tell you the last time Keisha and I sent each other love songs. I may still do it every now and then, but that's not something that I do anymore, and not because I love her any less, but because when I see her, I could play music in the house. That we were two separate houses, but we don't even do that anymore. So I show her love in a different way. And I used to buy her flowers all the time. I bought her roses every week, and I think she told me, "Don't buy me another rose." I think and that stopped our roses. But what she did not know is the reason why I bought her roses is because that was a sign of me showing my love for her.
But I think that's important too, to know that sometimes love languages change. The same thing that may have been my love language in the beginning, like you have to switch it up, add spice, right? Like change up the game.
Right. You just got to grab her hair. Like,
don't grab my hair. No.
That's real. That's all you.
So yeah, you can't just keep doing the same stuff sometimes. Some things will work forever. Like I know for my husband, if I buy him a pair of Gucci slides every week for the rest of his life, he is going to be okay. That's the thing.
Every week, but you can buy me a different pair of Gucci's or just switch it up, switch a different, But yeah, I'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be okay.
This is what I know. But for me, that's like roses. They were nice. They were awesome. But what happened was they started to die. Our love didn't die. The roses started to die. So I found myself throwing away more roses. And I was like, okay, I love the roses. I do. But you're enough. So yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. So the other part is try to fulfill your mate's fantasies.
Okay.
This is big. Let me tell you why. Men and women both have fantasies. Okay, I want to answer this question before I dig into it.
I kind of answered it a little bit. Let me read it.
Yeah.
So if your love language isn't something you enjoy, do you still engage with the language for your partner, or do you tell the partner? And so that's what I just was saying. Basically, like the roses. The roses was a love language for me at one point in time, and then it was just like, okay, I think for me, I am 100% about transparency and communication. Like communication is huge for me.
You remember you started doing love letters? I would leave you a love letter on your pillow.
Mm-hmm.
You missed that?
I like that. That was nice.
You want me to go back and write you love letter?
Let me one. As a matter of fact, no. Yeah, I do. I do like that. But I like communication. I think open communication is very important. That works for some people. For some people, that doesn't work. But for me, like by all means, be transparent, communicate, and expect the same from me. My husband knows I'm gonna tell you.
And however it come out, it's how it come out. however she say it is how she say it. Okay, so when I say fulfill each other's fantasies, okay, I'm not saying invite somebody to your bedroom, but I am saying that you ought to be open to the romance of filling each other's fantasies. For example, one of my things is like I want to be taken on a date and don't know where we're going. That makes sense. I want to be like, hey, I got something planned for you. You don't know where we're going. And it's not, and feeling each other's feelings is not always easy, but it's a sign that you actually care and committed and willing to go the extra mile for the relationship. You gotta, it's the spontaneity and it's the thought behind it. A lot of times in relationships, we react and say, okay, I need to do this, so I'm doing it out of reaction or begrudgingly because I need to do it. But most time, if you do something for somebody that's spontaneous, your mate, and it's spontaneous, and it's a love-filled thing, and it's not predicated on an anniversary or a birthday or something going on, it's just because you care, you get a whole different response. It's a whole different feeling. Mm-hmm. Because it's not a program response, it's an intentional. And a lot of times when we get into relationships and we've been in relationships for some time, we are programmed like, okay, I know Valentine's Day is coming up. I know Mother's Day is coming up. I know her birthday is coming up. Christmas is coming up. Let me go find out what she wants and let me just go do this. That's not, although we do things on holidays and anniversaries, that should not be the focal point of your relationship. The focal point of your relationship is let me love you better than I did the day before. Let me give you better than I did yesterday. Let me try harder than I did yesterday. Let me love deeper than I did yesterday. Let me re-engage again. And I think a lot of times is we stop engaging because we get busy and things get difficult. A clear sign that you are intentional about your relationship is that we can have a disagreement, but I can still fulfill your fantasies. We can have an issue and I still take you on date night. We can have a problem and it won't stop how I treat you.
That's true.
Come on. Brothers, let me say this to the brothers out here, and sisters, I need you all to back me up on this one. I need you to back me up on this one. Brothers, it is okay for you to come out your comfort zone and plan a date night.
It is.
I'm going to wait about 10-second delay. I need some sisters out there. Brothers, it is okay for you to plan a date night. Hopefully this commercial.
I just spilled coffee on.
She certainly did. I was holding it.
I'm sorry.
Come on, sister, talk to me. Am I right? Come on. And when I mean plan a date night, and let me tell you something. I'm not just talking about, let's go get something to eat. I'm not just talking about let's say, come on, let's go get in the car and go something to eat. That's going to get something to eat. That's not date night. I'm about to mess y'all up. Date night. All right, come on, let's just go. That's not date night. Date night is when you are intentional. I want to help some brothers. Be intentional about it. Be like, listen, at 6:00, be ready to go. Get dressed. We going. I got somewhere for us to go. You made the reservation already. You've already planned for what's next. And you can do it on your budget level. If you ain't got no money, the money is an issue, and I get it because we had lean times, we had overflow times. On the lean times, I saved up so we could do something. I was creative. I made something in the house.
We have done stuff in the house often. We ain't gotta go far. In the house, date night is good because you don't have to spend a whole lot of money.
But it's the thought, it's the effort you put in it. It's the what you gonna get out of it. And I think a lot of times we have put effort in and want a full result when you half did a performance.
I think that's a good question.
Okay, so Samantha said date night for men is what? I'm letting these answer that, and then I'll come behind.
You're gonna let me answer the question about date night for men is what? A man.
Okay, so let me answer. Okay. All right. This is me. So a date night for a man is figuring out what he likes. So to start talking to him, so what you want to do for fun? And get to really know what he wants to do. So for some guys, date night could be, some guys really enjoy going playing pool. Mm-hmm. Some guys, that's what they enjoy doing. Take them on a pool date. Like, hey, we're gonna pick you up, take you on a pool date. You drive. You pick them up. You pay for it. Okay? You pay. Kenny says done it before on several occasions.
I have, and I'm okay with it. The drive part, I'm like, what?
Right. And you pay for it. You plan out what y'all gonna do and what's gonna happen. And that'll make him feel special because you're doing something he like that. So for me, I'm a romantic guy. So I like, take me to a nice restaurant. Take me to a nice dinner. Take me to a movie. I like plays. Take me to something that I like doing. Take me to the mall. You can take me on date night to the mall. And we can, and I think that's what, just but find out what he likes, what he doesn't like, and making that happen. Because it's fulfilling what he does. Okay, so Samantha asks, grown up question.
So is sex date night?
No. Sex is not date night. Shouldn't be having sex till you're married anyway. Let's start there. But sex is not date night. Sex is dessert.
Okay.
Am I right?
You're right.
Come on, you ain't saying nothing. You just looked at me like,
You just threw the I couldn't even talk, dessert out there, and it was just like, oh, okay, dessert. All right.
I mean, that's true. Like, all right, so I told you I put your kids away. Because I'm about to get real. It's about to be real. Ladies.
I'm nervous.
Married ladies. Sex is not a gift.
Yes, it's from the Lord.
That is scriptorial. I'm sorry, we have an audience.
Sex is not a gift.
I thought it was a gift from
Don't give me sex on my birthday talking about here's your gift. That ain't no gift.
But I thought sex was a gift for the married.
The Bible says the marriage bed is undefiled.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I had that gift the day before my birthday. You can't give it back to me on my birthday talking about is there a gift. I've had that gift already.
I'm just being silly, y'all. I'm
Right.
not being serious.
Right. That's not the gift. So I mean, but being very realistic. Like, because watch this. What you're doing is showing that I didn't invest in you enough to put the effort for the time to make it happen. Now, I don't
agree with it.
That's how I feel.
I don't agree with it.
I'm a guy.
Investment.
I gave you like the guy's point of view. Go ahead. What do you think?
I don't agree with it. That's an investment. And it does depend on how it's wrapped.
Thank you.
If you wrap it nice, I took time out for this.
I want both gifts. Don't just give me that. Because you wrapped it nice before. And I've unwrapped it. And you wrapped it back up again. I mean, come on. I told you I put the kids down because this ain't no kid conversation.
I'm sorry, guys. This is
all right. And so it's not a gift. I mean, it's a blessing. Don't get me wrong. It's a blessing, but take the time to do both. So I'm gonna give y'all here's a thing if your resources are lean. And I'm gonna go to this question. A coupon book of things you could do for your mate if you don't got the money. So for a guy, and Kenise can speak to one perspective, give me a coupon book with a foot rub and a back rub. A coupon book where I ain't got to do no housework for a week. Somebody do something. It's those things that if your money is not, you don't have the resources financially to do it, there's other ways you can still be creative and make it happen for you. And he'll love it just as much. He gonna probably cash in that coupon book a lot quicker than he would have wore the shoes. Hey, just let you know. How do you plan a date night when he don't want to do anything?
That's a whole nother issue.
Leave him.
So that's a good question. I want to answer that question. You've got to figure out why. Alicia, you got to kind of figure out why they don't want to do nothing, and then stress the importance of it. But here's also for God, don't give the option. Like, hey, this is what I need you to do. And sometimes you gotta wrap date night up in something that they ain't expecting.
Oh,
Call a fake emergency. Be somewhere. I'm just giving you ideas because and then once they're engaged in it, they'll realize the importance of it.
but there are reasons why people don't want to be engaged, and I think that's the deeper issue that you have to get down to the bottom of. Like, why don't you want to be engaged? Like, what's up? Why don't you want to? What you want? So that's why I said that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother situation, because marriage and relationship is work. So sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do. Sometimes you have to get yourself in the mindset that you may not be there. But the bigger picture or the bigger question is why? Like, what's going on that you don't want to be involved?
One of the things we talked about in the very beginning when we came on and was talking about making the investment, making the time, remembering each other's value. And so when you and sometimes you just got to have those conversations like, listen, I need this with you. I need this time with you. And when you're having that conversation and you tell that person, I need that time, I need that intimacy, I need that with you. Mature people will respond differently than somebody who's in their feelings. And if you're in your feelings, you need to figure out why you're in your feelings. And if y'all can't talk about it together, talk about it with another couple who has some experience in that. Talk about it with another couple who can kind of help guide through that. Because I think a lot of times couples get into a rough patch. It can get rough. It's easy to get rough. It's hard to stand through it. It's easy to get rough. And so even in the rough times, having a conversation like, baby, I see you.
That's important.
Life has a way of making things rough. It's up to you how you handle it.
And it's okay to get counseling.
Yes.
It's okay to seek professional help. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that, you're failing at whatever it is. It means that you see enough value in your marriage to not let it fail.
Mm-hmm. And that's back to what the point was, not forgetting each other. Not forgetting each other. I talked about both parties need to feel special. Let's talk about that. We talk about that?
Not really.
Let's talk about that. Kenise, you're my partner in life and in love. What are some things that I'm going to use as an example? What are some things I can do to make you feel special?
So I'm more of a like see me kind of person. See me, acknowledge what I'm dealing with, acknowledge who I am, what's going on. Especially in this season when I'm working from home with a house full of children. Don't come in the house and dump on me. See that I've been in here with these children fighting all day. See that I'm tired. See that I need some relief, some respite even. See that.
Got that respite.
Acknowledge that. Help me.
I got that respite.
Help.
I'm going to give you a break.
In the words of Kevin Hart. Help me.
Oh, you want to finish that part?
Mm-hmm. Black Lives Matter.
All right. For me, I told Kenise this years ago. I can go fight the world, but I don't want to fight when I get home. That, and from my mental sanity, I can do great everywhere. But when I come home, I need home to be a place of peace So even though it may be chaotic with the children, it's not chaotic with her and I. Does that make sense? So whatever the frustration she may have with the kids, whatever frustration she may have with her job, I ain't do it. But I'm here to help you deal with it. I'm here to help you work through it. And so there's nothing sexier than a woman who will help you build to your destiny.
This is true.
Ain't nothing better than a woman will help you.
Is this what makes you feel special?
Can you elaborate,
Kelly, elaborate on that.
Elaborate on that, Kelly.
Are you saying is what he just mentioned, is that what makes him feel special? Not having to fight the world at home?
What makes me feel special is, so I'm going to share something. I'm the one who plans most of our date nights. I'm the more romantic one.
This is true.
I am. I'm the more romantic one. I'm planning date nights. I'm like, we need a babysitter, get a babysitter. I'm the one who like, hey, our date that we having on Saturday. I plan our date on Saturday. I said, where we going, what we doing? And she's like, oh, okay. But what makes me feel special is when she takes over date night. My wife gets an Amazon package every day. 97% of Amazon packages have nothing to do with me.
I did not, wait now. I didn't get an Amazon package today.
You got 3 yesterday. So I got 2 more days that I can use it.
Usually they're household supplies. They're not just for me.
90% are for you. But it's okay. But do things, like I would like to see a package come home. Hey, baby, I ordered you this. That make me, oh man, she thought about me.
But I do that. Yeah.
The question was,
right.
I didn't say you didn't do that.
Don't act like
I said 90% of the packages come home for you. I didn't say you didn't buy me stuff every now and then. I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and so the spontaneity of, I'm a gift person. I like gifts. Kenise is a communication person. She likes communicating. So I told her some years ago, I said, every time you go to the mall, you buy you something, look for me something. Because when I go to the mall, I don't look for me just anything. I look for her something as well.
I have a picnic. He don't like little gifts from Amazon. He wants expensive gifts.
That's not necessarily true.
I got to play my paycheck.
That's not necessarily true.
Now I am gonna order him a little mug real quick.
I got a mug, Janelle. I got a mug. It says I bought my own dad mug.
I'm gonna order him a little mug, some slippers, a nice tie. Father's Day is coming.
Do not buy me no tie for Father's Day. I do not want to be like Cliff Huxtable on Father's Day. And my wife will make the assumption that I am super expensive to please. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay. I have a special guest.
No, you don't.
I have a special guest who's here. I got a special guest who's here. I got a special guest here. She's talking. She won't come on camera. So I'm going to ask her the question. Samantha, you think I'm expensive?
Nobody can buy you anything because you don't like no presents unless you pick it out and it's over $200 and then you be like, oh, I like it. Unless it's on sale, but it already probably was more 2 and above. Oh, but except for Nike, you like Nike. Nike is affordable. Yay, Nike.
I have a witness. Even Kelly said, you are. Thank you, Kelly. We all know.
And your mama.
It's not a secret.
Oh, she said, and my mama.
Your mama
It's not a secret.
My mother-in-law said yep, too.
Now, I did. So the whole house has Crocs, right? We got Crocs because we just kicking around in Crocs. Now, I did order him some Crocs. He was like, well, I want some Crocs.
And I
Only
Crocs.
because everybody else in the house has Crocs. And he didn't have Crocs.
Did I wear my Crocs?
One time.
That's not true. My Crocs are at the door.
Two times.
No, that's not true because every time I go to the store, I wear my Crocs. Every time I go to the grocery store, every time I go to Target, I'm going to wear them like when I got to go to Target when we get off this. I'm gonna go across. And thank you, Mom. There's nothing wrong with liking nice things. You don't have to spend your whole check to please me.
Mm-hmm.
Half. I'm saying you don't gotta spend your whole check. I'm just joking. But I like what I like. But here's the kicker to it, because she's trying to put me out there. I will spend the same amount of money. I won't buy myself something. I will buy my wife and my kids and my sister and my mother stuff before I spend money on me. Am I telling the truth?
It's true.
Oh, okay. So when they talk about everything that he want is expensive, I get them nice stuff all the time. I hate you.
$2.75. Didn't I hit it?
This was. I digress. All right, come on, let's go.
But no, do I do that?
Mm-hmm.
So the more, what I'm saying is, it's not about what you spend. It's not about how you spend it. It's about knowing what your mate likes and fulfilling that part of them. So for me, I will go to the mall and back to my original point. When I go to the mall to look for me something, I always look for Kenny something. I buy me some tennis shoes. I buy her some tennis shoes. Come on, talk back to me.
Yeah. This is true.
When I be like, okay, I'm gonna go buy me some True Religion jeans, I buy her some jeans.
And low key, if he goes to the mall and he doesn't buy me anything, I'm really looking like.
So we don't want you to get caught up on the stuff. Like the whole purpose is not the stuff, but it's the thought behind making sure that you don't forget about the person that you're with. It's the thought behind it. And so keeping that's the intent, not the stuff. Please don't get that confused. It's not the stuff, but it's the intent to say, when I want to be a blessing to you, I want to be a blessing to you. I want to be something else.
Kelly, I'm gonna post a picture.
I'm gonna wear the Crocs today.
Said Crocs.
I'm gonna put them on in a minute because I gotta go to the store.
I have mine on right now.
Yeah, I like to walk around barefoot in the house. Okay. The next thing we're gonna talk about. Sorry. Don't be afraid to talk about what's not working.
Full transparency. Communicate.
Next week we're gonna have another couple on, and we're gonna talk about romance with having children and dealing with romance in your relationship. But don't be afraid to say what ain't working. I think relationships fail because we don't talk about what we don't like. My wife is a great cook. She can cook. My wife can fry some chicken.
Where's this going?
She can fry listen, if you want some fried chicken wings, my wife is amazing at frying chicken. She can cook pot roast. You know, kiss on live? You gonna give me a kiss? Don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
Don't you say that?
That's not how Sean see.
Thank you, Shantae.
I can't cook everything. She said so true.
She was talking about my chicken.
Yeah. I'm thinking she'll make progress. And so
thank you, Kelly. They are.
I didn't say she can't make. I just said there's something she's strong in. So I was like, babe, don't make no pot roast.
It was one time though. Like he tried to crucify me for one time.
I ate it though, didn't I?
Twice. You ate it 2 times.
Because that's what love does. My mother said,
what if you're afraid to say what's not working in the relationship?
Wow.
So for me, that's a problem. And I'm going to tell you why. I have been in a relationship where I was afraid to communicate how I felt. I've been in a relationship where I was afraid to communicate how I felt. That breeds toxic behaviors and toxic environments. If you can't be honest with your spouse, the person that you're one with or supposed to be one with, about how you really feel and what you really like and what you don't like, it breeds toxic behavior, toxic environments. It breeds anxiety. Like, that's why I'm so 100% as much as I can be at this point, because I can't afford to have that toxic energy in my space. I have to tell you if I don't agree with something, and it's okay to disagree, and it's okay to not like something. And if you never express how you feel and you never express what's not working or what you don't like, your spouse will never know. You can't assume that they automatically know what's going wrong or what you don't like. And if you're afraid of their reaction, then you have to ask yourself why. Like, what is it that you're afraid of? What do you think is going to happen when you express how you feel?
But I think some people are afraid to express how they feel because they don't want to be alone. Because if I tell you what's wrong and then you leave me, then I'm by myself again.
Well, if you tell me what's wrong, or if I tell you what's wrong and then you leave, was it really meant to be? Like, if it's that easy to just roll out?
Then that means that okay, so let me say this. Relationships are for grown people. Mm-hmm. And I think so I was on the right track. Relationships are for grown people.
Yeah.
Because it is a constant work. Because it will bring out your weaknesses and expose your vulnerabilities and make you deal with your failures and your inadequacies. But if it's done correctly, it'll build you up at the places of your weakness. And I think a lot of times people are broken because they were never built up at the place of their weakness. They were left weak and beat down and nobody ever restored them. So real relationships will make you take off the mask you've been wearing that you had it all together when you still was broken. That makes sense? The growth that Kenise and I both had goes back to being honest and transparent. At the same time, desiring to be whole more than the desire to pretend. And I think a lot of times in the society we live in, we have the desire to pretend more than the desire to be whole. So we lie about who we are in the beginning until we expose who we are in the middle. And then people have to make the reinvestment in the middle because now their feelings are attached to you and got to relearn you all over again.
But is that really a desire, or is it based out of fear? I feel like that's based out of fear, because if you really know who I am or how I fear that you might leave me, or you might not want me as much, or you might not like me. Like, I feel like that's based out of fear and not necessarily, like, I don't desire to pretend. I feel like if I'm pretending, it's because I'm afraid of what the reaction may be if you know the real.
But is that, and you and I can talk about this, but is that real relationship?
No. It's not genuine. Personally, I don't feel like that's 100%. If I always have to be a representative, you're in a relationship with my representative.
Because eventually the representative is going to leave. Here's a good representative. Y'all, women, brothers, y'all don't always wake up pretty. You remember in a different world that Whitley got up and got pretty?
Always wake up pretty.
You remember a different world where Whitley got up in the morning and she beat her face before Dwayne woke up so he could say, "Dang, you wake up glowing." That's not always the truth. Y'all come to bed with some of that things wrapped up. That hair thing on your head, that grandma outfit, babe. You don't ever wear that grandma outfit.
You're right.
That grandma outfit, that onesie that go all the way down to the floor, that cotton looking one, not cute. But that's the in the beginning you came looking like with the lace situation. Got into it, came with the grandmama situation. You don't ever look at grandmama.
I'm stuck.
But that's a part of, hey, I want you to see all the
Thank
aspects
you.
of me. I want you to see all the parts of me. So let me see grandmama in the beginning too. Like don't when we first got married, don't come to bed lacy every day and then 6 months later I got this grandmama outfit on. You talking about I'm tired of wearing that lacy outfit. Lacy outfits. This is how I really am. Well, for 6 months I always saw this little lacy stuff. I thought that's what you wore to bed. Oh no, I'm just laying here. You remember how you been phone? I'm just laying here enjoying the wind blowing, but you really tired and you want to snore? Show me that. Be honest about who you. Thank you, man. Don't buy her no more than grandmama outfit. So then what David said, what happens when you try to be real in the middle relationship? It causes you to start all over again.
So
what you think? When you meet the real person, you gotta kind of start all over again. Like, so do you really like this Chinese food? Do you really like long walks on the beach? Did you really like not laughing, but do you really like?
I think, Lenny, I think that when you try to be, I really feel like I wish that folk could be real in the beginning, but I feel like if you are in love with someone and it comes to the point where, hey, I'm realizing that we got some masks on and we have some representation and we have like some unauthentic stuff going on, like we have to work through it. If I love you, I'm willing to work through it with you. Now, if you get in the middle of the relationship and you want to be talking about, now you got to be real, and I done found out you got 17 kids and 19 baby mothers, and you don't really have the job that you said you had, and now, they drafted my account for child support. Now we got an issue.
So you want me to get him with child support? You don't want to pay my child support anymore? I'm just joking. I'm not joking.
Now we got an issue. Like if in the beginning you totally frauded me out, then that's a problem. Because now in the middle, when I found out the truth, we really gonna have this is a lot. But if it's just things, sometimes people are insecure in themselves, and they are afraid that if they let the other person know that this is me, or if they're vulnerable, then either they will get hurt or they'll lose the person. Then in the middle, you start to kind of work on those things. If you love that person, you work with them.
I agree with that. But I think a lot of times we work so hard to get them, to get people, and they're like, oh yes, I love the Lord. Oh yes, I love to cook. Oh yes, I keep a clean house. Oh yes, my children are well behaved. Oh yes. The wind blows.
Why are you doing this?
Yes. No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying us in particular. I'm just saying like people will. Oh yes, I make 6 figures. Oh yes, this is what it is. Oh yes, we present different than the real because we always want to make a good presentation. People are always trained to put up best before always make a good presentation. So I get that, but we never become real. Like there are days when it's off, and so my mother said that some days I want to be comfortable. In your relationship, you should be able to build and be comfortable at the same time.
I'm going to be comfortable all the time.
You know how I knew Lisa had a relationship? When she farted around me.
I can't believe you would say that about me.
Did you or did you not fart?
I mean, I did.
Right. But she was like, it was like a second date. But see, again, know the context. Know the context. Know the context. I've known Denise for 20 years. Denise, on our second date, we were sitting in the car. We were just talking. We were boot loving, just talking, listening to R&B music, talking, and she went whoop. In my mind, I was like, "Oh, she nasty."
When keeping the real goes wrong.
But I was like, "Oh, you comfortable?"
I think it was an accident.
She was like, I couldn't hold it no more. But
I can't believe you just put me out there.
But it showed she was human. If you can't show that you are human, then you're going to struggle in relationship. So when she passed gas, I was like, hey, ain't no need me holding in no more either.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And so from that point is, I said, you letting it go, I'm letting it go. You got gas, I got gas. You ain't got no coof, I ain't got no coof.
And it's been downhill from there, guys.
She been passing gas in the bed ever since. But I said that to say that you got to be able to be who you are. And I think when you are mature enough, you can be honest about where you are and what you have going on and be okay with your differences and really laugh at your own. I think we laughed when she did it. We laughed when she did it. She was like, I'm so embarrassed, but she was laughing. And I mean, when you're in love, you don't think when you're in love.
Stop. Did you roll the window? You loved it that much.
I ate it.
Stop. I tried to smell it all. So you got
I ate it.
Stop. All right, come on. Stop.
You love that too much.
You want something to hurt thinking about it?
Stop.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know.
Stop.
Okay. But it's that being able to be vulnerable, be comfortable, to really grow with somebody and to be who you're supposed to be. So there's been a lot of comments. I need to go back. Girls, she said it's like a job interview. Absolutely.
To an extent, though, like you can't. Okay, so you cannot. I don't want this to.
It's like a job interview. A lot of people allow applications to get the job, and then gotta be going through on-the-job training and don't ever make the cut.
Right,
Boom.
You cannot apply for a job that you're not qualified for. And I mean, take it how you take it. You can't apply for a job that you're not qualified for, and then when you get the job, you don't meet the mark, and they're trying to figure out, well, Lord have mercy, your resume said this, and when you interviewed, you said all of this, and here we are sitting outside on the porch.
But I'm gonna say this because we can wrap this up. When you have good on-the-job training, you can meet the mark. And what I mean by on-the-job training is when you keep telling people what you need and telling people what you expect and telling people and it's not just one person saying, hey, this is what I expect from you. It's really doing relationship check-ins. Hey, how are we right now? What's going on? What can we do better? What can we work at? What can we be determined to fix? Because if you are not checking in, you could operate on cruise control and be breaking down.
Yeah.
And one of the things I refuse to do is to operate on cruise control and be suffering and failing. But when cruise control, and what's cruise control? Cruise control is being repetitive, doing the same thing you do every day. You can be on cruise control and go to work and come home and eat dinner and go upstairs and go to your bed and go to sleep. That's cruise control. Cruise control is when you are just doing your normal but not doing it trying to be better than you were before. That's cruise control. This is the last question. We're going to go.
That's not really a question. That's a statement.
What's the statement?
It says, but if you are yourself, people know how to deal with you. This is true. However, that doesn't mean that in the relationship, you say, well, this is just who I am. This is who I am now. This is who I always was. This is who I'm always going to be. Sometimes in relationships, you have to bend a little. There's a saying, bend but don't break. Sometimes you have to give a little. It's a give take. So yeah, if you are yourself, then people know who to expect. But if you love somebody, then you know, in order to make it last forever, you have to give a little.
And here's the other thing, and we're really going to end this today, is that in relationships you gotta be selfless.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be selfless and be selfless enough to say it ain't always about me. How can I love her better? How can I love him better? How can I minister to that person? How can they minister to me? How can I encourage through prayer? How can I push them towards their destiny? How can I push them towards their dreams? I want to be the biggest cheerleader to Kenesa's destiny.
And I to his.
When she's talking about business ideas, I want to be the first person to invest in. I want to be like, hey, we can do this. Because I believe in her. If I don't understand anything, I believe in who she is. And my selflessness is going to make me invest in her. And my selflessness is going to make me push and be and grow. It's a team. And we're on the team together. And how can I say I'm in love with you and not invest in you? Not support you.
Yeah.
How can you tell me you're in love with me and not support me?
This is true.
Because then we leave opportunity for the enemy to come in and steal our investment. Not saying that we're going to divorce, not saying that we're going to leave, not saying that, but saying that we're growing apart and not growing together. Because if one party is chasing their dreams and other people trying to keep them back from their dreams, then you have a struggle, and that tug of war is not going. There's no victor in that. There's no way you get victory together. All right, y'all. We ending coffee and conversations. We not out of time, but I'm out of coffee, so that means we out of conversation.
I've been out of coffee.
It's gone. And so we thank you all for tuning in. Next week we're gonna have a great conversation with another couple. Minister Paul Thompson and his wife Nikki Thompson are going to be on our coffee and conversation, and they're going to be talking about keeping the romance alive with children in the house. We send our children away; they're upstairs, and so we're going to be talking to them next week, and we're going to have another great conversation. We may get another couple on here who's been on before. I love you, Ma. We love you to know. Love all of y'all who are sending us your love.
We love you.
You all have a wonderful evening. My 5-year-old told me coffee and conversation is over.
Yeah, they can come down here.
All right, y'all.
So we're
peace.